Launching spaceships from launch pads on land poses a lot of environmental threats, therefore maintenance is a priority and it could cost a ton. Recently, SpaceX has revealed that they acquired 2 oil drilling platforms to carry out the offshore launch, landing, and other services and activities. In this video, we're going to go over the benefits to offshore launch sites and how it's going to allow SpaceX to launch a rocket in a city near you. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe for more quality content. Now, let's begin. SpaceX has several launch facilities to carry out its launch operations at different locations. At this time, the company lost one of its facilities damaged in the Amos 6 accident on the opening day of September 2016. In 2017, Complex 40 was repaired, and it is the Cape Canaveral Space Launch Complex in Florida. Also, the company has launched complexes in California, Vandenberg Air Force Base, Space Launch Complex 4E, Kennedy Space Center Launch Complex 39, and Brownsville, South Texas launch site. The company divided several launch operations amongst these facilities, with the Kennedy Space Center handling operations for NASA launches and related operations. The South Texas launch site is for commercial activities, while the Vandenberg Space Launch Complex will handle polar launches. SpaceX also recently bought 2 former oil drilling rigs and named them both Phobos and Deimos after the 2 moons of Mars. So, what do you think they will be exclusively used for? Well, these sites will serve as floating spaceports as they're currently undergoing numerous modifications to allow for the smooth running of Starship launch operations. For some time now, the company's actually been hinting at possessing a future floating launch and landing site for their space operations, and as a matter of fact, this presents a veritable desire to run space launches smoothly without the concerns that accompany launch noise and blast residue. The result of the super heavy launch vehicle's large blast and the accompanying flame might have really prompted this acquisition, because big space launches might be happening soon. Sea platforms exist to enhance a lot of SpaceX plans of Starships, and it will even help to achieve on-orbit refueling flights and other deep space missions. Some sources have revealed that the company has indicated that work on the offshore launch platform has begun, somewhere near the Texas facilities in Boca Chica. On Twitter, the Tesla CEO confirmed a post that alerted job positions at the new facility. He mentioned, SpaceX is building floating, super heavy class spaceports for Mars, Moon, and hypersonic travel around Earth. In case some might find interest, the job description includes responsibilities like designing and building an operational offshore rocket launch facility, and persons must be able to work on an offshore platform in Texas. Positions are open for crane operators, offshore operation engineers, and electricians. For quite some time, Elon Musk has not held his plans secret, and has been pretty open about he and SpaceX will make space accessible and possibly make humanity become an interplanetary species. Animations that were released in 2017 depicted a duo of starships launching from an offshore platform, and earlier this year, Musk made a tweet about SpaceX and how they will have up to 3 launch sites for its Genesis Starship missions. With the company having other locations, they decided to have a spaceport close to the Florida Space Coast. And, as we all know, this site is actually where Starship prototypes are being built and tested. The new spaceport might be a key element that would allow the easy building and usage of the Starship and super heavy launch systems, which are intended to allow for simple trips to the Moon and, in the future, to colonize Mars. The sea launch sites, which are identical oil rigs formerly called Valaris ENSCO 8500 and ENSCO 8501, will give room for flexible launches and landings. Offshore launch sites present several advantages over launches on land. Spaceports on land stand threatening to the safety of people around, especially with the hazardous chemicals, including propellants, leaking into the ground. When it comes to cost, it is therefore costly to maintain on-land spaceports compared to the offshore pads, which require adequate safety procedures as well as cleanup operations. As a signal to the effectiveness of owning an offshore spaceport, China also began working on its own floating spaceport located off of the coast of the eastern province of Shandong, and it will be the country's first floating spaceport, but its 4th on land, and it will be called the Eastern Aerospace Port. SpaceX has stated their desire for offshore sites, and they may continue to seek out other spaces on the sea. And if you stay around, you could get to see a number of their activities. This significant achievement might even go on to advance SpaceX flight operations. Recently, the company lost a ship at the final step of its flight test, and they have determined the cause of the damage. Explosions like this in a crowded area might result in dangerous exposures. Buying more oil rigs will undoubtedly assist in building a better yet still sustainable space exploration practice, where land wouldn't be soiled by spoils of the operations. Offshore launch facilities could assist in relieving congestion and noise hazards from SpaceX's land-based spaceports at other locations, specifically the facility at Boca Chica. The Starship's development is to enable missions to the Moon and Mars, and these flights will require on-orbit refueling, which will be done with a tanker version of Starship in low Earth orbit. Because Elon Musk had promised journeys to Mars on specific timelines, I firmly believe that buying the oil rigs are significant steps to achieving this. One major thing that has helped human development is the absence of concerns. Once you discover an imbalance that could be corrected, it's better to make changes to suit you. Moreover, we could all agree that the company will acquire more oil rigs and further create job openings for people willing to do the work. As a matter of fact, I do not know of the company's model of payment, but I am fascinated at the fact that there will be more hands on deck for the project coming to us soon. The moon journey, either delivering crew members or cargo, will demand to refuel in space, just one perhaps, and the trip to Mars will definitely need several rounds of refueling. From these oil rigs, they could be launched and their technical demands dealt with. The company also intends to send multiple Starships to Mars during the earliest and single interplanetary travel windows. These flights will perhaps be sent into orbit for other missions before going around with people. This intimacy of time might as well prompt other rocket companies, and they might as well go on to acquire oil rigs for their own operations. However, it might be SpaceX is already here. As engaging as he is, Elon Musk revealed details about the company's plans in a reply to a user's question. The user asked if the offshore spaceports will be refurbished oil rigs, further inquiring if Starship passengers are to be ferried out to them using the Hyperloop. In 2012, the billionaire hinted at a vacuum pod transportation idea, the Hyperloop, and to reply to the above question, Elon Musk tweeted, "Pretty much. The offshore spaceports will be quite far away to not bother highly populated communities. Basically, since launch and landing results in large disruptions." The Tesla CEO further referenced the Super Heavy launch, where the 31-engine first stage demanded to get the 100-passenger Starship off of Earth's surface. As we all know, Super Heavy will come back down to Earth's surface from a controlled vertical touchdown, shortly after liftoff. Since Starship spacecraft used about 6 engines of its own, it remains powerful enough to launch itself off of the lunar surface and Mars. The gravitational pull of these planets is weaker than what we have here on Earth. As Raptor engines, these engines are distinctly more powerful than the machines that propel the Falcon 9 and the Falcon Heavy. Starship is not going to be the first rocket to launch from the open sea. Interestingly, the company's sea launch saw them conduct close to 3 dozen liftoffs of Zenit boosters from a particular specially built ship, and the last of the journey was concluded in 2014. Unlike Starship, Zenit are smaller Starship systems, and they do not come back to land. Work should begin in earnest in these locations as offshore engineers are already filling up spaces in the South Texas facility where prototypes are already being tested and assembled. A few weeks ago, the company tested a Starship propellant tank for pressure, and this is a trial designed to promote future designs and development. As a matter of fact, the tank leaked some 7.6 bar, which means further improvements could be made, and it has been revealed that the 340-liter stainless steel is far better than the 304L stainless steel is far better than the 301L stainless steel. In truth, Elon Musk said, "We're developing our own alloy to take this even further. Leak before burst is highly desirable." In conclusion, if these developments actually go well, then we could witness the first operational Starship missions. Perhaps the offshore site's launches will begin with the sending of commercial communication satellites, bound to start sometime in the year. NIO is looking to be a strong player in the electric vehicle market. Tesla has previously dominated in China, but now NIO is hot on their heels. The Chinese company seems to have bounced back from near bankruptcy. In today's video, we'll look at NIO's background and their plan to crush Tesla in the China EV market. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe for more quality content. With that out of the way, let's begin. NIO is an automobile company which was founded in 2014 by William Li. The startup was formerly called Next EV, and they share similar values with Tesla. Both companies focus on making the automobile industry completely electric. They do have their own differences though, which is the fact that NIO offers smaller vehicles. Next EV's first product was a limited supercar which helped them gain a grip in the industry. The EP9 was the company's hit. It was after the car was released that the company started to go by NIO. The NIO EP9 debuted on the same day as the company's brand establishment. The sports car was created with the company's Formula E division and had over 260 miles in range, which can accelerate from 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. With a top speed of 217 miles per hour, this car grabs the attention. With its 1,360 horsepower strength that made sure you couldn't look away. These cars are usually considered a luxury. Investors bought 6 of these cars for over $3 million. Only another 10 models ended up being publicly owned. The limited car was quite a success. Despite this, the company still faced major financial difficulties after a few years. By 2019, NIO was facing bankruptcy and they were barely holding on. Their salvation came from the Chinese government by a $1.4 billion investment they received in 2020, which actually managed to keep them afloat. However, they had a price to pay. The company had to give up a 24.1% stake, which would belong to the government. This investment pushed the company greatly. In late 2020, NIO was ranked as the 5th most valuable vehicle producer in the world. They only trail behind Tesla, Toyota, Volkswagen, and BYD. Currently in China, Tesla Motors is the leading electric car manufacturer. Their cars are the most sold electric vehicle in the country. The Gigafactory created in Shanghai will help with keeping up with demand. We can attribute their success to their efficient supercharging network. They have about 300 charging sites planted across China's mainland. While NIO understands the benefit of fast charging, their success is not based on that. They have a concept called the vehicle battery separation. Buyers are encouraged to see the battery as being separate from the car. Basically, the dead battery can be removed and replaced with a fully charged one. This saves the user time, and they only spend a few minutes refueling. Tesla's already given this concept a shot. They tested it out back in 2013, and the US company soon abandoned the project. They realized that their superchargers were fast enough. They were also more popular with the majority of people. They figured out a way to reduce their electric vehicle charging time from more than 12 hours. This contributed to the company's wide success. NIO is, however, giving drivers charged batteries in less than 10 minutes. The concept was used on the EP9. It was in 2018, however, that the battery swap station was opened in China. Right now, there are over 160. The battery swap process is pretty simple. The driver makes a booking on an app, and then a staff member reverses the car into the shelter. The existing battery pack is then unscrewed by the machinery. The machines are laser guided, and as such are efficient. The machine then sends the battery pack underground to be charged. Then, it screws in a fully charged battery pack. Within a time frame of 5 to 10 minutes, the driver can leave. The service costs NIO drivers about $150 per month. The cost covers up to 6 battery changes at any of the company's facilities. This allows for ease of movement. Second-hand owners of NIO cars have a slightly different deal. They could pay per kilowatt hour for the energy required to charge a flat battery. Electric vehicle technology is complex yet still evolving. Some manufacturers create different models with different battery types. NIO's success is that they did not choose to do that. Their batteries are a standard design across all models. A percentage of the car's cost goes to the battery pack. About $10,700 of a NIO car's cost is for the battery. It could be bought along with the car, but it could also be rented. According to reports, 1/3 of NIO customers prefer to rent the battery. The minor flaw in the swap-out operation is the number of available stations. People might not have to wait long for the actual swap. It just might take a while before it is their turn, because of the number of cars waiting. This is because there are only 160 stations. There is also the problem for people who live too far away from the stations. People who want to travel outside the reach of a station might also get into some trouble. This is not a major problem though. Consumers can charge their NIO cars regularly. This is as long as they can find a fast charging outlet. NIO even has a plan for poor planning. Does a driver run out of power in the middle of nowhere? The driver can use an app for the swap to ask for a charging truck. This will get them some essential charges. The charging truck is also 100% electric run. Let's take a look at models NIO has to offer. The ES6 is NIO's cheapest car. This mid-size SUV costs about 358,000 yen, or about $55,000. This car boasts just under 550,000 horsepower. It can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.7 seconds. Its range is 380 miles. The ES8 model can seat 6 to 7. It is at the top of the company's range. The customizable car is just slightly slower. It does 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.9 seconds and its range is 360 miles instead. It's gonna sell for about 448,000 yen, $69,000. Nice. The EC6 is based on the ES6. The EC6 has a drag coefficient of 0.26. This makes it a little bit faster than the ES6. It also has a few more miles in range. The car is a coupe crossover fusion. In the top specification, it can drive to over 62 miles per hour in 4.5 seconds. It's available for a 10,000 yen, $1,500 increase on the ES6 price. China's seen a huge increase in the demand for SUVs. An electric SUV is held in an even higher esteem. Reports say that there are over 500 registered companies. They are all in the market to build new energy vehicles. They build alternative fuel source vehicles that don't work with internal combustion engines. None of them seem to have made as much progress as NIO. Drivers who use the battery swap car system are eligible for subsidies of up to $3,500 in China. The government has made this a limited period bonus. These incentives may be dropped soon as the demand for electric cars goes up. NIO's dabbled into the saloon car market. This market's full of different brands trying to make a profit there, and they have. The segment has been made profitable. NIO's ET7 saloon will have a 620-mile range, which will run from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.9 seconds. These are just the standard specs. The car will launch the company's entry into the world of car safety and self-driving technology. The car is expected to have up to 33 instruments in it. One of them is an ultra-long-range LiDAR. It will also have a high-resolution camera and ultrasonic sensors. It will also see a millimeter wave radar added. This shows that the company is looking at autonomous driving quite seriously. Current cars are being fit with space to contain some sort of self-driving feature. Tesla has age on its side. The company's got plans to produce 250,000 cars from the Shanghai Gigafactory each year. They are also more experienced than NIO. NIO, however, has struck a deal with JAC Motors, which allows NIO to use other companies' assembly lines. Because of this, the company recently recorded a milestone of 50,000 vehicles produced. William Lee's company has recorded about 650,000 battery swaps. The battery separation technology is clearly reliable. NIO cars have covered 800 million combined miles on the roads. The company is marketing itself as a complete lifestyle and technology solution. Combined with its battery swap stations, charging stations, and charging trucks, the company has lived up to its claim. The company also offers home-based charging stations. It also offers something very distinct, the NIO House. The houses are built to foster brand loyalty. The houses offer various professional services. These include meeting rooms, libraries, and forums. They also have coffee shops and lounge areas. This is the company's attempt to help consumers relax. It even offers something called the Joy Camp for children. The company's got offices in Germany, the United Kingdom, and the United States of America. Despite these, its highest volume of cars is available in China. Its lifestyle network and its charging systems are only available in China though. There are no expectations for this to change anytime soon. NIO has also shown tremendous growth in the stock market since its entry in 2018. Reports have shown a whopping 1,500% surge in stock price. Compared to Tesla's 700%, this is definitely a lot. NIO sold about 14,196 units in the first half of 2020. Tesla recorded 49,714 units sold in the same period in China. In the fourth quarter, however, NIO produced and delivered over 17,000 units. That's an increase of about 111%. NIO's officials say that despite Tesla's new model, their orders are steadily increasing. They even recorded a new sales high after the Tesla new model announcement. They delivered 7,007 units in December alone. That's more than double what they had recorded in the previous year, around the same time. The company is working to increase its production to 7,500 units per month. This target is set for early this year. Let's see how they do. Tesla records about a third of all its sales in China. This means that NIO's growth is going to be competition for the world's top electric vehicle manufacturers. This battle for the electric car industry in China is about to get very interesting. Do you think NIO has what it takes to outrun Tesla? Will Tesla Motors come out on top with Elon Musk at the helm? Let us know what you think about it all. Tesla said it would begin production of its all-electric battery-powered semi-truck. However, for several years now, production has been left in the dark. Here we're going to examine what really happened to Tesla and what stopped the production of their semi-trucks, so before we move on, make sure to like and subscribe for more quality content. Now, let's begin. In 2016, Tesla mentioned their all-electric battery-powered Class 8 semi-truck as part of their master plan. However, after years, its development has been drawn back due to a number of reasons. The company initially held thoughts of building a working prototype that uses a bunch of Tesla Model 3 electric motors. In 2017, the company unveiled the Semi at a press conference, and at the location, Elon Musk provided a number of specifications accrued to the vehicle. He mentioned that the electric Semi would cost 20% less to operate than a diesel truck. This variation comes if the vehicle is charged at a megacharger, and Tesla would guarantee a price of 7 cents per kilowatt hour in the United States. If the vehicle is therefore not charged at a megacharger, the savings will solely depend on the cost of electricity of the particular area it is based, and this might dissolve the operating cost benefit. The Tesla Semi, in fact, has its particular share of criticism And it wouldn't be fair if we do not consider the particular voice of the Microsoft co-founder, which echoed that the all-electric truck is not feasible. A major criticism of the Tesla Semi is on its weight, and skeptics have claimed that it is too far to be economically viable. In truth, the Tesla company itself hasn't given specific figures of the vehicle's weight, although the company has noted that the vehicle will consume less than 2 kilowatt-hours per mile. This could mean that the Semi will likely have a battery that's roughly around 600 kilowatt-hours to 1000 kilowatt-hours, depending on whether or not the vehicle will feature a 300 or 500 mile range. Interestingly, the Tesla CEO Elon Musk said during a company's earnings call that the mass volume production of its Class 8 truck, the Tesla Semi, will hold until Tesla can make a high volume of its possibly required 4,680 battery cells. The cells, which were displayed during the Tesla Battery Day presentation on September 2020, are really big, tabless lithium-ion cells that the company is building at its pilot battery factory in Fremont, California. The company mentioned in Q4 earnings updates that we anyway should get the first Tesla Semi by the end of 2021. Elon Musk said prototypes are easy, scaling production is very hard. The long run of what happened to the Tesla Semi fairly began in 2017, when the CEO of Tesla said that they will be delivered to customers in 2019, and last year, the company further delayed sales till this year. Tesla used Semi prototypes in the marketing stunt to deliver cars to customers. It mostly alluringly posted job postings for employees to work on semi-truck production lines at its battery plant outside of Reno, Nevada. However, work has still been delayed. The company's president of automotives, Jeremy Gullion, mentioned that the Semi will use the same parts as the company's sedan and SUV, which enables driver assistance features, as Tesla Autopilot and full self-driving operations. According to the CEO, furthermore, the Semi would need 5 times more number of lithium-ion batteries than that of a normal electric car. This is why, as Elon Musk said, it kinda would not make sense for us to do the Semi, but it would absolutely make sense for us to do it as soon as we can address the cell production constraint. The same would go for a van. As said in the past videos, the United States will record a huge amount of light-duty vehicles and vans demand in the coming years. If you consider various political plans, a particular one is that the replacement of federal government's fleet of internal combustion engines with the far better clean and quiet electric vehicles. The more recent available data from the General Services Agency reveals that the federal fleet includes more than 400,000 trucks, a category that spans light-duty pickups and vans. Tesla competitors, including Rivian and others, are allegedly developing, perhaps selling, battery electric vans. Check our log for more videos on that. Elon Musk at some point said, "I think Tesla's definitely going to make an electric van at some point." The thing to bear in mind is that there is fundamentally a constraint on battery cell output. If you're not involved in manufacturing, it's really hard to appreciate just how hard it is to scale production. It's the hardest thing in the world. As a matter of fact, the company's production of the Tesla Semi is majorly based on how well it is able to economize the cost of batteries, and the most feasible way to do so is by making the batteries by yourself. Unlike normal cars, electric vehicles are mostly built around batteries, and a truck, perhaps a van as big as the Tesla Semi, would definitely demand more power based on its weight, including overall size. Elon Musk explicitly mentioned that the main reason why we've not accelerated new products is, like for example Tesla Semi, is that we simply don't have enough cells for it. If we were to make the Semi like right now, which we could easily go into production with the Semi, but we would not have enough cells for it right now. We would have enough cells for Semi when we are producing the Tesla 4680 in volume. He went on to state that basically we don't see any issues with creating a compelling long-range truck with batteries apart from cell supply. There has been further skepticism over the claims of the Tesla Semi, including battery longevity and other concerns, such as the replacement cost of battery. All of these and other specifics will prove essential to calculating the cost of ownership for a long time. Industry experts view heavy-duty freight as impractical for battery trucks due to the cost and weight. If the Tesla Semi already found its necessary structures and architectural requirements, it could have been a success. However, since no distinct number has been given, it is very much likely to fail. A particular report claimed that the battery technology available at the time, 2017, were not realistic, as the company laid emphasis on the charging times, range per charge, and cost per charge. Some of these experts went on to state that Tesla might as well be hoping to successfully use increased battery density advances in the next couple of years to meet its stated goals as regards to the Tesla Semi. Researchers from the Carnegie Mellon College of Engineering completed a theoretical analysis of electric semi-trucks, which apparently is in response to Musk's description of Tesla's work on a heavy-duty long-range semi-truck. The analysis estimated loads and ranges for an electric truck, given battery technologies known at that time, and it also indicated that an electric semi-truck might be feasible for short or medium-range transport, but would not be for long-range transport, as the weight of the batteries required would take up too much of the weight allowed by law. One particular estimate of the battery weight at 11,800 kilograms was calculated to result to 1/3 of the payload, which might as well increase the capital cost of the truck to about double that of an equivalent diesel. Seeing that the company plans to achieve quite a lot this year as regards to its semi-truck, one would expect nothing less from them, just as a lot has changed in the last couple of years. Musk said that the company will have sufficient cell volume once it begins the 4680 battery pack. This battery pack is a new custom cell design created with a tabless design that improves energy density to affect range. These batteries will further make the production of the Tesla Semi easy and worthy. Teslas in the future will have the battery that doubles as a structure. The company will also make them extra firm to improve efficiency, safety, and cost. He once mentioned in an interview that the main reason why we have not accelerated new products, like for example the Tesla Semi, is that we simply don't have enough cells for it. If we were to make a Semi right now, and we could easily go into production with the Semi right now, but we would not have enough cells for it. In case you didn't know, one Tesla Semi would typically use 5 times the number of cells that a normal car would use. However, it would not sell for 5 times what the car would sell for. Elon Musk even concluded that their next improvement will signal a huge change for the company and its Tesla Semi product. He said, "It will absolutely make sense for us to do it as soon as we can address the cell production constraint. Tesla has intentions to exponentially ramp up cell production, with the goal of having production capacity infrastructure in place for the total of 200 gigawatt hours per year by 2022, and the target of being able to actually produce around 40% of that by that year. Also, they plan to make future processional improvements that will generate additional gigawatt hours of cell capacity following gradual growth." Thank you for watching one of our videos. While you're here, go ahead and click on one of these 2 videos on your screen. See you there.